the UN Security Council, in other international organizations that need to reflect the realities of today, not just the day that they were created many, many years ago. We're working and collaborating to support the development and use of artificial intelligence for good. With 30 other Atlantic countries, we're driving blue economic development, environmental protection, science and technology exchange through a new partnership for Atlantic cooperation. Today, as the Foreign Minister mentioned, with President Tinubu, with the Foreign Minister and other colleagues, we spoke about a range of common priorities, including our focus on accelerating economic growth and opportunity here in Nigeria. This is a place of extraordinary innovation, extraordinary dynamism. I've had the opportunity to visit many times over the years. I've seen that each and every time, and I expect to see more of that in Lagos tomorrow. American entrepreneurs, American companies are eager to partner with and invest in Nigeria's economy, particularly in the tech sector. We have tech giants that are teamed up with Nigerian partners to help meet President Tinubu's 1 million digital jobs initiative. Other companies are hard at work laying undersea cables, using satellite technology to expand access to the internet. Our tech incubators are fostering Nigeria's next startups. Our venture capital companies are working to finance them. So we want to work in partnership to help drive Nigeria's technological revolution, which is creating jobs, it's growing businesses, and it's spurring innovations in both of our countries. Because one of the things we've learned from these partnerships is that it benefits us as much as any place or any company that we're investing in. We're learning a lot from it, we're getting a lot from it. And one of the initiatives that President Biden laid out, the Digital Transformation with Africa initiative, we see as particularly energized, and it's a particular area of focus for us. Now, Nigeria offers real, clear, compelling opportunities for investors. At the same time, I think it's no secret that there remain some long-term challenges that need to be overcome to really unlock the full potential. Tackling corruption, making it easier for foreign companies to repatriate capital, these will all pull in a transformative direction and pull in transformative investment. I know that President Tinubu is focused on these challenges, and we also welcome his very bold economic reforms to unify the currency and fuel subsidies. We also recognize that in the short term, these reforms have created pain for vulnerable communities. I spoke about some ways that the United States can support Nigerians while the government carries out these essential reforms and works to protect those who may, again, in the short term, be negatively affected. We also discussed our very consequential work on public health, something that the Minister mentioned. One of the things I must say as an American I'm proudest of is PEPFAR, initiated by President Bush, carried on by successive presidents of both parties. Over the last 20 years, PEPFAR has saved well over 20 million lives and changed for the better many more. Over the last 20 years, we've invested $8.3 billion in HIV and tuberculosis.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Is it just me? Or did you notice as well that he did not believe Jack in what he is saying himself? It was more or less like a prepared speech. Just read it to them, okay? Please, Mr. Blinken, do you have a speech? Oh, yeah, I do. I mean, no, I don't have any speech. Or we can prepare one for you. We have people who can write them here. You just need to say, you know, the effort of the president on how to help Nigerians, even though now only a few of them, the thing will affect for now. But America is... did you kind of notice that Blinken did not believe in Jack in whatever he was reading there? American companies, giant technological companies in America. Papa, give me the names of the giant tech companies in America that you have now seen in Nigeria, mingling with Nigeria right now. Give me one. As well as they tell them. They say Mac, they say Apple, Microsoft, Google, all of the giant first class, what have you, companies in America, their CEOs, they were begging, Joe, when is Kolu coming to America? Hey, Joe, we want to meet him. That's what Dele Alakori said, though. And Akuri Nigalailai. They said American tech giant CEOs, they were begging Tinubu to meet with him every time he comes to America. Tinubu went to America, spent over $1 million, $420,000 of that on Olusho and alcohol. Shepe and Olosho in America, $420,000. Over $1 million was spent on that American trip. Baba, ordinary Photoshop of even if not dead. What if that guy's name? That guy will get Apple. Even if not, not even Joe Biden ran away. You know Joe Biden that is always like that. The one that is they call it Sleepy Joe like that. Slow Biden. See. He avoided Kolu. That's how bad, how worse it is. Now, American Secretary of State, who only came there to come and try to get the reassurances of all these regions that, how far American interest, in-law, how far, is telling Nigerians, reading a prepared speech, telling them that so many American businesses are interested in Nigeria. But listen to me, if that was America, Blinken will have to tell his audience the type of companies that are coming to that area. If he was talking to Americans there, he won't tell them that there are some foreign companies that are coming to your location. They will say, to do what? Give us a name. Give us something. He won't talk to Americans like that, but he didn't believe in it, but he has to do it. It's protocol. I'll show you another version. The one where they were actually asking questions, not talking, just asking questions and let him respond. He said America supports Tinubu. Why won't they?
They include policies such as the removal of long-standing subsidies on petrol and, of course, the unification of the foreign exchange rates, amongst others. Nigerians anticipated a reciprocal boost in infrastructural investment and US dollar liquidity injection, the kind seen in Egypt, Ethiopia, Israel, and others. But that has not been forthcoming. President Joe Biden launched the Build Back Better World program for infrastructural investment in developing countries. Now, what can you tell Nigerians about the extent of investment across sectors that the United States is ready and willing to commit to the Nigerian economy? And what encumbrances, if any, do you see in the way of tens of billions of dollars worth of investment in infrastructure and US dollar denominated liquidity? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, as I mentioned before, and I think a few things are important here. One is what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing is very real interest on the part of American companies, American investors in working here in Nigeria, investing here in Nigeria, helping partner with Nigeria, and in so doing, create new jobs, new opportunities, and even new industries. This is a big focus of our Binational Commission and the work that we're doing together. I mentioned as well, though, there remain some impediments that we hear from our own business community. Is the repatriation of capital. This is important. I know the central bank governor is working on that. And second is the ongoing effort to combat corruption, because companies that come in and invest want to make sure that they're going to be investing with a fair and level playing field. And corruption, of course, is a big impediment to that. Having said all of that, look, I do think we're seeing real movement. When we had the Africa Leaders Summit, hosted by President Biden, one of the commitments we made was to generate an additional $55 billion in private sector investment in Africa over the next 3 years. Well, here we are 1 year after the summit, and we are 40% of the way to achieving that goal. By 2 years out after the summit, based on the trajectory we're on now, we'll be at 70% of that goal, and we will achieve the goal in the 3 years as President Biden set out. That's just one, albeit an important manifestation, not only of our commitment to generating more private sector investment, but actually to doing it. And as President Tinubu and I had a chance to discuss this, I think there are responsibilities on all sides. One, as I mentioned, are the things that can be done here in Nigeria to create the best possible climate for investment. But two, on our end, is to use all of the tools of government that we can to support that. Because for the United States, as much as we are doing with assistance programs of one kind or another, as much as we are doing as being the leading contributor by far to virtually every United Nations program that helps other countries, and that may not be so known to people because it may have a United Nations label on it as opposed to a USA label on it, there is more that we can, and President Biden is doing, to help us generate private sector investment, which is really the comparative advantage that we bring. And that includes using some of the tools in our government that have not been used as effectively before to support the private sector in terms of risk investment, in terms of supporting in one way or another the investments with insurance, with participation. We have tools like the Development Finance Corporation.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Lórí irọ́. I heard that they are already using that as an achievement. The Agbadomaiti, Lagos Abobaku, Oshogbo Alimajiri, Ẹ̀yin bad studies. Blinken's visit to the giant of Africa. America has a plan to invest $50 billion in 5 years. We have already achieved 40% of that. Oh, really? How much did Nigeria get from that 40% investment from America? Zero. Go and verify. Zero. American businesses are coming to Africa and they are investing in Africa and Nigeria, and where are they going in Africa? Not Nigeria. They are in fact leaving Nigeria. Blinken knows that. He knows. The last investment of America that is major, which they divested about 4 or 5 years ago, and finally they've packed it all up, is in oil sector in Nigeria. You know those who told you that Nigeria will never break because America will never allow it. UK will never allow it. Imagine all the oil of Nigeria. You have not updated your profile. America's interest in Nigeria oil and crude oil now, the sale and the rest of that, Baba, it has dwindled beyond anything. Then America's investment in oil sector in Nigeria is almost coming to zero. Zero. They are leaving. So he says something about American technology investing in Nigeria. Give us a name. When they wanted to put the headquarters of Twitter in Africa, they bypassed Nigeria. There has been so many other major investors like that from the Western world that have chosen different destination, not Nigeria. Because the problem is that if you invest in Nigeria, because of their corruption, it has become so hard for you to take out your money. The ideal, if you are an international investor, okay, you will bring in your dollars. Now, when you now make all your money, whether it is in Naira or in dollar, it doesn't matter. When you want to take your profit out of Nigeria, it is the responsibility of Nigeria to provide you that dollar equivalent of that your profit you want to take out. Airlines in Nigeria, airlines from outside Nigeria. Nigeria is currently, they have almost 10 billion Naira. If they should change it to the current, what have you, your Naira to dollar, Baba, We are talking about 11 to 12 trillion. I mean 13 trillion naira. That's how much profit of the airlines over the years under Bukwari that are trapped in Nigerian banks simply because Nigeria has no dollars. And they are not going to use Ghana must go to pack the naira to their country. It's useless to them. International trade agreement means if our agreement is in these dollars or in this currency, your central bank will provide equivalent of that money with no ROA. But ask those who invested and why everybody is leaving. A lot of you don't know. Abi? Okay. Well, which American company? Which giant tech? We all know the giant tech from America. When you talk about Google, when you talk about Apple, Steve Jobs, Ologbe Steve Jobs. When you talk about Facebook, Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg. They talk about this. I mean, these are the major ones. Microsoft, anyway, like, you know, which of them is coming to Nigeria? Just follow the Blinken to Nigeria. Blinken is working about with an open checkbook. It is to give these countries what America wants them to do as stooges, using their resources, using your military, your air force, your whatever and whatever. We want you to use them for this purpose for us. Okay, but where would you like us to give you support? Giant of Africa, they will now write the check. 150 million naira to support child education, girl child education. They will now say, America just donated $150 million to support, because America knows that if you take your money, enter Nigeria, it's going into the hands of these private crooks and criminals, and your money is gone, and America won't cover you. The risk managers who are going to weigh all these options for you, they won't encourage you to go to Nigeria. The risk is so massive because you can even get killed. Your money will be gone, your whatever will be gone, corruption will kill everything for you, and at the end of the day, you are going to go back with nothing. I didn't say that. You just need to read more, and please read more and see what the world knows about Nigeria. I'm not talking about those of you who believe that God can overlook all of that and still do no, the work doesn't work that way. They know Nigeria very well, except if you're a drug dealer, drug baron, money launderer, from wherever you are. And not be only black people, they do that now. You both teach black people how to do money laundering and all these crimes. If you are not doing all of that, you won't take your money, hard-earned money. You will not take the money of your investors and say you found something in Nigeria you want to go and put their money on. Because the world knows. It's not because of what we say. It is because of what these criminals are doing. Maybe they were killing people in Mangu yesterday. Their governor declared curfew. And curfew was to say, from this so hour to this so hour, nobody must be seen outside. Baba, Nigeria is under attack for over 10 years now. It escalated in the last 7 years of this APC. Mangu in Plateau State, Mangu local government area, where Islamic terrorists, just God knows, started the usual, and the people mobilized. They mobilized in readiness for them. You know, all of us, they tell them, say, defend yourself, as we say. Omo, then listen, oh, just like we said, no grief for anybody, no grief for anybody. 2024 rule 2024. No grief for anybody, no grief for anybody, no grief for terrorists, no grief for criminals and all of that stuff. All my people of Mangu took it personal. They mobilized. From what we heard, they mobilized and they were ready for these terrorists. Baba, I'll show you what they look like, and I'll tell you what the Nigerian military did. Yesterday, that is the height of it. And the people that were the victims, the survivors, they said this has been their lot for months and years now, where the Nigerian military will turn their guns on them, the locals, disarm them, and most of the time prep them, right, for the terrorists to invade. I'll show you. So some of you are like, defend yourself, right? just to show you what it looks like when the terrorists are attacking the barbarians, all right? The Uthman Danfodio descendants. When they are attacking your community, what they look like from far, and tell me, Shena gidigbo gidigbo. Abi, what are you going to use to defend yourself if you don't have the real, what do you call the real thing? Take a look at this. How do you react to this if these people are approaching your community?
Akwai sojoji a wurin da aka kashe su. Sojojin suna harbin su ne? A inda za su gadin faruwa sa rabe su.
What are you gonna do? You'll be doing like that of a Jackie Chan and wait for them since they have already disarmed you. You have no gun, you have no nothing. So you do like this and wait for them, like. And that is why they have to they are barbarians. So what do? They attack the vulnerables, the weak, especially women, old men and women, children. And when you see the way they will match it and do all of that stuff, you'll be like, no way, these people are humans. It is impossible. And that's what happened in Mangu. Now, this is supposed to be what do you call it? The Christian Association of Nigeria chairman for that community or for that local government area. And I want you to kind of listen to him first, and I will tell you what I also heard, which are almost in tandem with what this man had to say. Listen.
I'm Kancha and Mangu local government. I'm here to report the situation in Mangu local government to the whole world to understand. What is happening in Mangu at this particular point in time? The military are the ones sending our people away to allow the militia to burn their houses. At this particular point in time, they have sent every Christian away from the new market, and thereby leaving the Muslim to go and burn their houses. They set the curfew. The curfew is only restricted to only people within Mangu, within the Christian domain. But in the Muslim domain, they are free to move and do whatever they wanted to do. And not only that, the military has killed 3 of our young men, in which I know one is before my own church. They killed one yesterday. And I reported to the security. He said that it was a fake soldier. At first, he said I was lying. Until I proved to him beyond a doubt. Then finally he said it was a fake soldier. I said no, it's not a fake soldier. It's a real soldier who killed him. I said no, it's a soldier that killed him. Finally, they made signal to the soldier and he disappeared from the scene. This thing go on and on. Now that I'm speaking to you, all of them are switched off their phone and they allow the place to be burned down and raised by the people. And this is what is going on even now that I'm speaking to you. There are people around in Gindri Junction, down from this side to Lahiri side, down there. Their houses are now at place because the soldiers protected them and they allowed them to burn people's houses. They are not doing anything about it. So we in Mangu local government, as far as Christians are concerned, we don't want the military in Mangu local government. They should pack at their loads and go. We don't want them. We don't need them and we don't want them because it's a plan. They have been bought. They have been paid with the price to carry out their duty, what they are doing. So that reason I'm saying, and I'm calling the whole world to understand that this thing should stop and people should come to our rescue to save us. If not, that is an evil plan for us to destroy Mangu local government because the governor is from here and we are not going to allow it. We are going to fight with less of the problem. They say they kill us all. The military should keep on killing us. We accept they should kill us, but we are not going to stop We are going to penetrate. I will say personally, I organize the whole Christian in Mangu government. We are going to fight. We are not going to stop. And that is what I said. If this is not stop, we are going to call a meeting for pastors, and we are going to make an arrangement for that, because that is enough is enough. We have tried all to make a peaceful living. We have cried and make cry, but the government is not listening. If they switch on their phone, where they should take our cry to. That's my plea. Thank you.
And that is what you should do, sir. We are happy that you are telling us what you're going to do, but you don't really have to tell us. We just want to see you do it. Call yourselves, but how do you, like, let's be honest with ourselves, okay? Let's kind of try to be reasonable here, right? How do you fight 2 wars? Terrorists are coming to kill you. The military are stopping you from defending yourself. And if you overdo it, the military turn their guns on you. How do you win such war that is waged against you? How? One of the best way to win it is to tell the world, and they just did. Somebody said we should cut that part and make sure that we share it. It's already a viral video. I don't know if you have not seen it. It's already everywhere. And that's why you are saying it here too. Tell the world, bring evidence, record everything, show the world. And then go on and do what you have to do. The last time Lagbaja was there, he said this. That's the military, the chief of army staff, Lagbaja, when he was there, when he was last in Plateau State, he said this would never happen again. But you see?
Sir? Good afternoon. Sir, the crisis on the Plateau has prolonged for some time now. Should we say that what is happening on the Plateau has overwhelmed the Nigerian army?
The Nigerian army is not overwhelmed in any respect. Yes, the crisis on the Plateau has been on for over 10 years. But the Nigerian army, including the other services and other security agencies, have been responding to this crisis. I also need to bring to the fore the fact that in combating any crisis, is usually juggling what we call the 3 trinity in the military. That is the people, the government, and the military. So it's a careful balancing act. And so if the military is working very effectively and the people do not cooperate with the military, the results will be negative. And if the government do not. So I ask for the cooperation of all stakeholders in Plateau with the troops. Give them information, trust them, respect them. They will respond. Within a short spell, you can see that the situation in Mangu has been brought under control. There's stability in Mangu now. What we want to do is to project out to other parts of Plateau such that there will be peace all around, even beyond Plateau. But the troops are not overwhelmed. They are reacting appropriately. But we need the cooperation of the larger society to be more effective.
So what hope do we have?
Be rest assured that these troops under my command will give their very best, and they will stamp out every form of insecurity and bring peace and stability to law-abiding citizens.
Thank you very much.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
That's Lagbaja. And I think that was just about after the Christmas massacre. There is a clip that I had here earlier, but somehow I've lost it. So I'm going to bring it back. And that is just to show you where they talk about the burning and the killings and all that going on in Mangu. So you can have an idea from far what it looks like. And the military that is kind of shielding those terrorists there. That's the situation of Nigeria. And after, like, what the hell is going on in Plateau State is none of Tinubu's business. It's on a private visit now to France, and it won't return, according to them, first week of February. But today is just 24th. Though. You still have 7 days in this month. So that means he's going away for like 2 weeks, and this time around, I think they will need to put him inside the machine that they probably couldn't procure and put in the asshole rock in order not to cause the same embarrassment like that of Bokuwari. But this time around, they will need to really go to that American hospital in Paris, get properly checked, because it seems supposed to be every 6 months. But somehow, they've managed to buy a few more time and all that. So yeah, it's going away. You have no idea when it's going to be back. Even if Mangu is burning, just like this.
This is Oasis Church being destroyed by Muslims in our village, in our area. Please, we need help. We need help. We need security help. We need everybody's help. Please pray for us. This is Oasis Church in Kwaslair, Mangu local government.
The man that should normally help them as their president is on his way to Paris on a private visit. Ento makulu makunui, ento baku kolu adewa bayi is away. Awolo. So, make all of una just try and stay alive. So when Kolu returns, he will meet the rest of you that are left. But there's a guy who petitioned him, talking about the killings of the former chief of army staff, Atahiru. Now, Atahiru, according to this guy, Atahiru was doing everything, not only to crush Boko Haram when he was appointed as a chief of army staff, he was a Christian too. And somehow it's like he meant business. And this guy believed that the Boko Haram sponsor killed him. In fact, it's either they planted bomb on his plane, or he was thrown and flung out of the plane. Because if a plane crashed, that means it crash landed, Abi. So if a plane crash landed, there should be a crater, something like a hole, that is going to be hitting the ground like that, yeah? And he said when they got there to go and see the crashed plane of the visiting chief of army staff to Kaduna, Baba, of course, there was a plane crash. They saw the plane that crashed on the open field. But the bodies of the passengers, their bodies were somewhere else, burned, and all of that. And he has his own suspicion. Nigeria is a crime scene. And this guy is one of those that will keep reminding us that theory. Listen to this. It's on record.
First and foremost, it's important to put this in the proper perspective. Right, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, the late Chief of Army Staff, who died in that ill-fated plane crash on the 21st of May, 2021, was highly committed in the fight against insurgency, terrorism in the country. And within the short period of his time, of his headship of the Nigerian army, we all witnessed tremendous progress in the security situation, largely in the northwest and other parts of the country. And as a matter of fact, being the General Officer commanding one division, which is the premier division of the Nigerian army, also very much aware of the strategy and plan that he had in place, that he had in mind to address this. And he had tasked us to review the situation with a view to coming up with workable strategies that will address the situation. And we were on that, and as a matter of fact, on the visit, the day the plane crashed, we were to discuss certain things regarding the way forward to address those things. And as I stated during my interview with your sister organization, that is the Tuesday, right? There were a chain of events that preceded, and even on the actual day of the crash, that gave room for questions. So many questions that needed to be answered. He was, due to come by 10:00 hours, that's 10 a.m. Friday, that was 21st of May 2021. And for some reasons, right, we ended our conversation the night before, that was on the 20th, on Thursday night, with the understanding that he was coming by 10 o'clock the following morning, and I was to arrange for us to attend the Jumat Friday service. And then the following morning, when I called to inquire if the program was still as we discussed, they said there was a change in plan. Apparently, he had received a call just before he went to bed that there was to be a meeting. I can't remember where precisely, but a meeting which he was to attend in passing. And therefore, he wouldn't be able to come before the Juma. So it was agreed that he was going to depart Abuja airport by 1600, that's about 4 p.m. thereabouts. And the flight time is usually 20-25 minutes to Kaduna. And I was informed that he will leave the flag house, that's the official residence of the Chief of Army Staff here in Abuja, and proceed to the airport. And that takes normally between 30-35 minutes, and because it's a fast movement, convoy movement. And he got to the airport at about 16:05 hours, that's 5 minutes after 4. I was informed of that, and they made their way to board the flight. And for some inexplicable reason, which till today I cannot, I don't understand, I cannot say, right, they were kept at the airport for over an hour and a half. Meantime, back in Kaduna, we were waiting to receive him at the Nigerian Air Force base, which is at Kau, and the weather has started forming, and there was a weather warning that.
Let's move that forward, okay? So let him tell us when they finally got there and they saw the body and they saw the crashed sites with the wreckage of the aircraft and the mangled bodies of the passengers, including that of the Chief of Army Staff. This was where he said he started raising concern and questions, which led to him being locked up for 64 days. And after that, he was retired from the military. The COS was killed already. The deed is done. They got another person to continue the job. And the terrorism continue. He believes that, one thing I just don't like about these people is that you are coming to tell us what you already know. Or you are telling us that the government should investigate. You already know. Tell us what you know. You are one of them. You are insider. You saw what happened. You have right information. The one that you are writing letter to Tinubu, come to the public. Go on Facebook. Tell us what you know. We will take your word for it. Mention the names of those involved. Even the investigation you were doing before he was killed. Mention it. In that letter he sent to Tinubu, he said, this guy was invited. His name is coming to my head anyway. So anyway, he was invited. The late COS was invited to the Aso Rock. Meanwhile, he was supposed to be on his way to Kaduna. Say it. If I may be a soldier now, and I know what's going on, and they decided to kill me, but somehow they don't come kill me. They can't free me. But I will tell everybody waiting I know now. What am I hiding again? What is the worst that can possibly happen? Is to kind of smoke them out, but they do that. We want this country to investigate Oshiwo. Tell us what you already know. You know something is wrong. You know they killed him, and you know those you were investigating for terrorism. You know the role they played inside the Boko Haram's government. About tell us what you know. Corruption cannot fight corruption. Devil cannot fight a devil. Sure, you get Boko Haram. Tinubu cannot fight Boko Haram. And this agent of darkness. Darkness cannot fight darkness. Remember that. It's unfortunate, Sha. So he kept saying, like, there is more. Talking about his observation about the taking out of that little guy.
So when we rounded the bend to the tarmac, we prepared to go and receive him at the foot of the aircraft and I even directed my aide-de-camp then that he should get the orderly to come with 2 umbrellas for us to listen. So, believing that by the time we got on the tarmac, the aircraft would be taxiing to a stop. So, we didn't sight the aircraft on the runway. And we looked frantically around, then saw a burning flame by the side of the runway. It was the aircraft burning. Now, like I said, the aircraft was at treetop level when we sighted it coming to this. So the altitude wasn't so high. Now, if an aircraft should fall from that altitude, from that height, it will fall like a box. I mean, it wouldn't disintegrate. But again, if it fell from that height, and then the impact, it will come with dead weight, heavy weight, and there will be some crater that is borrow some hole into the ground. And let's not forget, it was on the soft grass, not on the hard tarmac, on the hard runway. So, but there wasn't anything like that. And also, we looked around. There was no corpses around. It was later we saw the corpses strewn some distance away from the aircraft, and unfortunately they were on fire. Apparently they were in flames at the time the aircraft is in. Now, if there wasn't an explosion in that aircraft, that mid-air explosion, they would have come down without aircraft to the ground, and they would be strapped to their seat, perhaps on the ground with that distance. But that was not the case. They were flung out of the aircraft, which I'm not an expert in aviation. I'm not an expert in this, but common sense, right? It was indicative that an explosion happened mid-air, and that was why they were flown out, and that was why the aircraft did not come out in full, that is, in its full form. It came out in debris, wreckage, that did not have that force to cause crater on the ground.
If I may come in, just because unfortunately we don't have that much time. What you're saying, if we understand you very clearly, is that there was a sabotage, and I'm thinking this sabotage, was it specifically against the person of the Chief of Army Staff who died in that unfortunate, ill-fated air crash, Ibrahim Atahiru? Or was this an attempt to sabotage the war against terrorism? Is that what it is? Help us understand what you are saying has happened.
Well, to start with, the term sabotage or the word sabotage, I mean, that's not the term that I use and doesn't describe something, because this is the reason why we are calling on the President, His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu, to set up a high-powered probe panel to look into the cause. Now, what caused that explosion? Was it something that was taken into the aircraft, perhaps by one of the passengers unknowingly? I don't know. I mean, there are so many questions that are begging for answers, and I think it's at the end of the investigation or the panel that should be set up, or that will be set up. We pray for that will determine this thing. Now, coming to the question, right? No doubt, General Tahiru was committed wholeheartedly to ending the insurgency in the country. And he had outlined strategies that would have led us, in a manner of speaking, to the promised land. And his death, without a shadow of a doubt, right, truncated or sabotaged that effort to this. So it was the death, or if it was caused by an external party, that is, if it wasn't an accident, then it was against the entire nation, because General Atahiru's death has dealt a heavy blow. Look at what has happened. We were on the verge of achieving success.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Ode munu bimisha, like I just say, general ni o. General, supposed general, everyone sorrow. They heard the general, Nigerian army, retired general, see how he is talking. Okay, let's say he's camera shy, but he's nervous. I mean, so nervous. Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't even know what to describe it. It's like, I'm telling what generous in any company, like, I just feel like, even me, my egun general, I'm much clearer like that than that, even under pressure. We're still under pressure. Now your house, you did interview on TV. Who brought bomb to the, okay, we suspected that his aircraft was sabotaged. Yes, that's exactly what I am saying. It won't need weary. No. What I'm saying is that maybe somebody brought the bomb unknowingly. If somebody brought the bomb unknowingly onto aircraft, is that not sabotage? What kind of a person that is working in the top rank of the military, working with the military top chief, and those who are going to actually like bring in